Hi.
How are you?
Good, how are you doing?
Good, thank you.
I'm so excited to chat with you. I've been
Oh,
following you for years and,
thank you.
your career and everything, and I'm just excited because it's like, "Oh my god, I get to talk to you."
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you.
Well, I'm so excited about that, like, danger in the dorm. This is you get to act, and I read that, your statement. I got to watch it, and you get to be this, like, worrying mom for this your daughter who is kind of trying to figure out who killed her, murder her best friend, and it is stressful to play that kind of part. But what is it was it about the role of Joanne that made you want to get involved? Like, how did you feel like she was a challenge for you?
It was a challenge because I didn't want to play myself and just mail it in by just being myself. So I believe that I was like a Midwestern myself and a Midwestern mother of an older child than I am. And yet I wanted to bring a lot of myself to the role because I am a parent and I can't imagine what that would be like. Um, we didn't address this in other interviews, but it was hard. It was hard. It was very I know that in the moments that I landed it, like in the takes that really mattered, that that it was real because I would be dizzy after. Like I would feel dizzy after the big emotional scenes, like something had happened. Like you kind of like a switch goes off in that moment and it's totally real. And that was interesting for me and unique for me. Like you're not really fake acting is in some ways for some people faking it. Obviously, it's not real, but it like really did feel real in those moments because I felt different. Like I had had an out of body experience after those really emotional moments. It wasn't just like, "Oh yeah, hi, now I'm smiling." I was affected by it.
Yeah, of course. Well, I mean, it's such a story. It's a story where a daughter and like a mom's worried about her. She's putting herself in danger. So of course, and it's a Lifetime movie, and this is your first Lifetime movie, film. What stands out to you about this experience, and what do you enjoy about like what Lifetime brings to the screen? It brings these kinds of stories.
Yeah, I mean, I've been watching Lifetime since I was a child. Friends of mine were the ones who really kind of not made me do it, but were so freaky with like three people, my publicist and two very close friends were like, "Oh my God, this is the most exciting thing you've ever been offered." And it was just funny, the people that are so connected to Lifetime and the stories. And then this has is layered because it's a true story. So it's not fiction, it's pulled from the headlines. It's crazy that it's even real because it doesn't sound real. It sounds and saying that the daughter would stay at the school, like, it all sounds nuts. And so, and it's important. It's also a cautionary tale. It's great that you get to be a parent and sadly teach your child that not everything is safe and not everywhere is safe, and she'll one day be in if she decides to go to college, that she'll be in a college dorm, and this will be in the back of her mind. So, I like that there's a lot of takeaway in it.
Mhm. And well, and like you said, that it pulled a lot out of you, where you felt tired after, and you felt like it was a lot. Like, how did you approach getting in the right headspace for that? Because it does take a lot out of you, but how do you get into that headspace? And then also, how do you get out of it after performing?
I don't know. I was just worried that the emperor had no clothes, and my feeling, and I did learn this in the Meisner classes I took at Playhouse West years ago in LA for not that long, maybe a year or two, but that they would have you memorize all the dialogue with no punctuation. So you didn't have a preconceived notion about how it was going to go, like where an exclamation point is or where a capital is or something like that. You're just kind of memorizing it as a tool just so you have the lines because you have to respect the script. You can't just like go rogue. But so you have the lines and then in the moment you can be real about it. So the process was just that. It was to be standing there in front of a person, understanding the circumstances and the scenario, and to be honest in that moment with what the other actor's giving you. So I believe that and taking improv classes at the Groundlings all helped because I think I just innately have the ability to be honest and truthful in the moment. And I don't like anything that feels fraudulent or manufactured. It's the one thing I didn't like about stand up is that people keep repeating the same stuff over and over. Like they do the same act the day before. I don't
Mhm.
like that because I like things to be real in the moment. So I found a way to make it real. And then afterwards, you just like calm down. It's just a whole surreal experience anyway. Being
Yeah.
on a set, being in a trailer, being tired, being there till late at night, being cold, like cold. It's hard work. All of it's hard work. I was surprised by how hard it was. Like it's not an 8 hour day. It's a 12 to 15. It's crazy. It's a lot of work. So you're kind of just exhausted from everything and then being in that moment and you're just all your sleep is really your only friend.
Yeah. Well, because, you're playing the mother, you are a mother. Was there any cases that you took it home with you too? Because it is a true story, it's based on a true story. And did you like the worry of your own children? Like for me, when I watch it, I'm like holding on to my kid after I'm like, oh, good thing you're not in college yet. But it's like that
Well, I
idea.
haven't seen the whole thing yet. So
Oh,
like
okay.
once you see like I've seen most of it, but I want to wait to watch it with everybody else because you're
Yeah.
watching it on your phone and it's like it was rough. I like seeing things real,
Hmm.
like with whether it's with the commercials or with other people. So that would scare me more than being there and doing it. Like then it was more, yes, it was real, but I think I'll feel more that way then.
When you see the whole thing.
I
But
think so.
yeah, is there anything you're hoping that fans, like audiences, will take away from this?
I mean, a person on another call asked the question about advice for people going to school. So, yes, that the unfortunate truth is trafficking and drink spiking and crime and Uber lunatics, bad experiences. It happens. So, cautionary tale. Sadly, it's not the same world as it pertains to safety as when we grew up, and that they're doing this movie is helping people, definitely helping people.
Yeah.
And moms are the ones that are going to be watching it, and they're the ones that are going to be sending their kids to school, and they're going to be thinking about this. So it sucks to put the fear of death in people, but if it's going to save lives, then so be it.
No, of course. You know, and because, you first came to LA to act and everything, and you found success in your throughout your career, and now you're back in like really fully immersing yourself with this. Are there any roles in a specific genre that you would like to do next? What and like is there a genre that you want to focus on? And what did you enjoy about this genre?
Well, that's an amazing question. I wasn't looking for this. I'm not looking for anything. I'm a person that takes things that present themselves to me and decide if they work for me.
Hmm.
Um, Comedy though. Like if you offered me a comedy role tomorrow, I would pretty much have to take it. My dream is to be on Saturday Night Live. Like a comedy role, with Amy Schumer or any comedian. Like I'm shooting too high, but David Spade, I'm friendly with. I'm friendly with Kevin Nealon. Like I said, Amy Schumer, who I know, Whitney Cummings. Like to be in a very funny, ridiculous, absurd, self-deprecating role with comedians would be a dream. That I would be fine with being on a 12-hour set for. Like that's worth it to me.
Well, for you, because how did like filming this? Because yeah, you said you were asked to do this and you want to do comedy, but like you were asked to do this serious piece. How did Danger in the Dorm kind of change your outlook of how you perceive how you watch television and movies and how you perceive these things?
Great question. Very hard work. Did not really realize just the memorization alone that's like every night having homework after you've been there all day exhausted. And, that's hard because you can memorize it before you get there, you forget it all. You have to memorize it like the day before. If you memorize the whole thing before, I forget it. You understand what's going on. But so I thought that was really hard. And then, like I said, the long hour, you have a respect for it and you're watching it differently. Luckily, I've lost that a little. Like while I was there, I was watching TV differently. Um, but yes, I'll watch now and like realize now that they're actors. And I know that we know that, but it's a little bit different. So I think that that's an interesting part. Just the hard work of it, the crew, the detail, the continuity, like the tediousness of every, you know, wrinkle in a shirt. It's just a very detailed process.
Yeah.
And this went quick. They moved more quickly than most. This was a hustle. I know that because they told me like they moved through I don't know how many pages, they said, but it was like some sort of record in the Lifetime landscape because this all got pulled together very last minute, and it was amazing. So yeah, I see things differently.
Well, I always ask people this, like, because whenever you're on a film and you're learning and you're performing and you portray this character, people always take something with them. They learn a lesson from their characters. They learn because they immerse themselves into this role. Is there something that you took from Joanne that stays with you?
I already sort of have it, but I don't know because I don't want to say something it's not. I was going to say her resolution and just her resolve about her fierceness, but I think that I'm already that. In some ways she was tougher than I am. In some ways she was tougher than I am. But her compassion, her conflict and being a good friend and having to deal with the fact that her friend's daughter was gone and the guilt of that. Like, I don't know. I definitely thought about it a lot, but I don't know if there's anything in particular that I can think about. It reinforced my parenting, my
Hmm.
motherhood.
No, I love that. Well, thank you so much. I can't wait
Thank
for
you.
everyone to see it, and like you get everyone gets to see you in a lifetime. So it's like I just love watching you. So
Thank
thank
you.
you so much.
The activist directors, comments and the lectures, fanboys, professional artists and professors. Maybe a nerd who's just like you, talking about the things that you like too. So I invite you to the NOC. In full color, you see me. The hard knock life, comics, movies, and TV. Yeah, pop culture with a different perspective. Watch it on your screen, hit play, so check this.